3 morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Daysey on Nova.
Welcome to the podcast. Hey, put your hand up if you're absolutely terrified of women. I got both my hands up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not being able to understand them is a very different proposition to being frightfully scared of the female species. But there's a man in Rwanda who just has
Different tactics.
hidden himself away just so he doesn't have to encounter any female
It's
energy.
a different approach. I mean,
Sure
you can
is.
either deal with your problems head on or you can just completely isolate yourself and hide from women for 55 years. Here's a bit of a headline that really connects with me, particularly in this particular setting when there's so many women at Nova, isn't there?
Oh,
And where it was just surrounded. All the producers. You got newsreader Abby, producer M, producer Zoe, Josh Morrow as well. A Rwandan man has allegedly lived in isolation for 55 years because of an extreme fear of women. In particular, he cites producer Zoe, producer Emily,
newsreader
newsreader Abby.
She is terrifying. First thing in the morning, I'm scared of her
Oh,
too.
my God.
I might go and hide in a jungle for 55 years.
Yeah, I know. Is it clear to go? No, give it another 55 years. Calixte Nzemwita, who is reportedly 71 years old, has allegedly spent the last 55 years in a self-imposed exile, barricading himself inside his home to avoid any contact whatsoever with women.
Oh my God.
There he is. Mr. Nzamwita reportedly began isolating himself at the age of 16 when he does everything from sleeping and cooking, even urinating, in the space of his own confined abode. A fear of women called gynophobia is not officially recognised as a genuine mental disorder, but it's clinically classified as a specific phobia. It's a thing. And the big fella's got it. And I'm not surprised, to be honest.
So every time we find you rocking in the corner, like, oh, Hazy's just got gynophobia.
There's this gynophobia kicking in again. Oh, no, somebody get me out of here. There's some outrageous phobias about. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to name you a couple of them. What about this? Frigophobia, which every single woman has.
What is it?
You've all got frigophobia.
What is it?
And that is a fear of cold.
Oh, yes.
An unnecessary fear of cold. And that is even after you're reassured that, hey, everyone else is sweating and you have 6 blankets on you,
Yep.
you're not cold,
Yeah.
okay?
I've got frigophobia. I came in this morning with a jacket which can only be described as a walking doona.
Yeah.
It's so cold this
And
morning.
you're like, I'm so frigging cold, I've got frigophobia. And what about this one? Arachibutyrophobia.
What?
Arachibutyrophobia. That is a fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Which makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
It does. It's not a nice feeling.
Horses have that fear in particular. You can see when horses... No, don't try and link it back to me, for goodness sake, please. For goodness sake. But you can see when horses get peanut butter stuck to the roof, they really freak out,
Yeah.
properly wig out.
Yeah, right.
So here's a couple of phobias that I found which we're all safe from.
Okay.
And I'm no medical expert, but I can safely say that there's 3 particular people in this team that don't have these current phobias.
Okay.
The first one is allegrophobia. That is a fear of being late. So congratulations, Judge, you don't have that. You don't have that. So sleep easy knowing that you don't worry about being late.
Well, I don't.
That's good. This is a genuine one as well. It's called angrophobia, which is a fear of being over the top angry.
Oh.
Newsreader Abby, don't worry about that. She's
You're
good.
okay, babe.
She's completely fine.
You're so fun.
And this one is isoptrophobia,
Oh.
which is a fear of mirrors. And I don't have that, which is good. So you know that saying, never walk past a mirror he didn't like?
Yeah.
That's me. They're talking about me.
You don't have to convince me.
I really need a chit chat. Let's have a chit chat. It is so time for a chit chat.
Let's go, girls. Okay, chit chat
Ladies
time.
assemble.
Do like a little page. All the ladies to Studio One, please. All the ladies. Okay, this is how this works. We have all the girls assembled here, and we're going to talk about stuff that we've maybe spoken about off air that probably deserves an on-air conversation. So we've got producer Zoe here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Zoe's in her 20s, in a new relationship.
I am.
Relatively happy. But also a bit of a career girl as well. Absolutely smashing goals at work. And we've got newsreader Abby, RBF face. in your 30s, happily single.
Yep.
However, something has happened to you this week
Yep.
that probably needs to hit the airwaves, I reckon.
So this has been happening to me since 2020. A guy over in, I think he lives in, well, I've done some digging. I'm going to be transparent. I did a bit of digging and he lives in Melbourne. He has been messaging me on Facebook Messenger since 2020.
Right.
Random messages every 3, 6, 8 months. One time it went a year until I'd heard from him. And it's just like, hey, how you going? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? And it got to the point where I eventually just went, oh, hi, sorry, do I know you? And he goes, oh, your dog's really cute. And I didn't reply. And then it just continuously kept going. And it got to then the point that he said, you can reply. I'm not weird or anything.
Oh, no, now you're sounding weird.
Yeah, no, he definitely weird.
But in this time as well, I did a bit of digging, as I said. He met a woman, he got engaged, he's married. This guy's married.
Right.
And I've spoken to other people. Just before I walked in here, Maddie Rose stopped me and said, I've been getting messages on Instagram from a guy since 2018, just like random videos that he sends me.
Yeah.
Number one, it makes me feel, it really pisses me off because as a woman, we feel not safe a lot of the time. So when you're walking out in the street, you get your keys out, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I've got a social media account and I understand that, yes, I'm on socials. I get that. And I've also in a position where I have a bit of a public profile. But the fact that people just continuously think it's okay after not getting a reply to message you is just wrong. So number one, it actually gets me like I get a bit teary over this because I just feel like it's just not okay.
But also, Abs, you know what people are going to say, just block him.
Oh, well, that's it. And so that's my thing is I've turned notifications off on my phone. So randomly all of a sudden I've got 6 messages and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm so, I know this is an excuse, but I'm so busy and I forget to do it. So yes, number one, I should just block him. But I guess I want to know unwanted attention and how to deal with it. Has anyone out there had the same thing? How does it make you feel? And also, who's behind it? Like, have you had a friend's boyfriend messaging you, or have you had your boss messaging you stuff? And what have you done about it?
Yeah. Okay. Producer Zoe, you ever had it?
Oh, yeah. I'm lucky. Not so much. When I was a bit younger, maybe, like in high school and things like that, boys just not getting the message. I did see someone for a bit, and after telling them I wasn't interested, would still rock up to my house with coffees and stuff, like trying to win me over.
Ooh.
Yeah, but, you know, bit, like different. He was just really trying. Like, he wasn't giving off creep vibes. But even still,
Yeah,
like,
but even still, he needs to have boundaries, man.
You can't just rock up to someone's house.
No.
Yeah.
Unless it's Uber Eats or something.
Unless
Yeah.
it's Uber Eats.
And you
And
invited
you're like, I told you no. It's like, you literally ordered coffee. Oh, God, give me some space.
Did you deal with this much, Jodes?
Yeah, I've had it.
Or even since being married?
Yeah, I've had it a bit, and I think it comes with the territory. I shouldn't say that. It shouldn't come with the territory.
It shouldn't,
But I guess doing this job, I've have messages from the same men constantly that I never reply to. But same thing, I've never felt threatened enough to block them. You know what I mean? And also, I think as women, why do we feel bad for blocking someone?
Yeah.
Even when it's not our fault. Why do you feel like you're in the wrong? Because you go, that's enough.
I think it's the same premise of, give us a smile. It was like, we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Be smiley.
Yeah, I went through a stage there where someone had my phone number, and every time they would call, it would be a FaceTime of a certain part of their genitalia, to the point where I went to the police and said, what's going on here?
Yeah, well.
That was extreme, and they were like, oh, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, you can't track this guy down and say, stop
doing it.
calling with your...
Can I ask a
Where's
quick
that
question?
whistle sound effect? You always go with the whistle sound effect. I needed it.
For the first time ever, it's locked away. Can I ask a quick question as well? And I'm assuming and I'm hoping this is a small population of the male species, and I speak on behalf of the male species. Can you expose him? Why can't you take a screenshot, expose it, and then if he's engaged, can you get in contact with his wife, mate?
This is a huge thing, and a lot of people have said, why don't you try, like, you know who she is. Although in saying that, he recently locked his profile, because I used to be able to see his profile, and now I can't, but it wouldn't be hard to find out who she is. But that's it. When you do get this unwanted attention, do you go to the point of, I'm going to go and speak to the fiancé, or I'm going to message her? Because if he's doing it to me, is he doing it to heaps of other women?
I'd say yes.
Yeah, you would assume so.
Go to his fiancé if he's not going to listen.
Yeah, but then on the other side of that, I've seen people who do out people on social media and say, oh, look, and then they get hate for it.
Yeah.
Well, there was a case out at Elizabeth not so long ago, and there was a guy. Remember that guy chased through the Elizabeth shopping centre in My Hills? Remember that?
Yeah, I
because he
remember
bolted
that.
outside of court. So he, there was a woman that said, I was getting all this unwanted attention from him. And then there was a massive pile-on. So she came out, there was a news story on him, and then there were literally 50 other women that came out and said, oh my God, I know him. He's been doing that to me as well.
13 24 10,
Yep.
situations like this, have you been in there, and how do you deal with this unwanted attention when, I suppose, there's different elements that you're thinking from a female perspective?
Have you received it online? Who was it? Why did it make you feel uncomfortable? How did you deal with it? 13 24 10. Let's go to Leah. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, how are you?
Good. I'm so sorry if this has happened to you.
Yes, so about 5 years ago, there was a guy who was messaging me. I was only about 17, so at the time I thought he was being nice. So I gave him my address. He came over one time. He was really, really creepy. And then I told him I didn't want to see him again. And he would always message me. I wouldn't reply. And then he would just drop off, like, food shopping at my door because he told me that I didn't eat well. So he would just drop food at my door, even though I hadn't replied. I hadn't replied for weeks, and he would just always drop food to my door. Also, my bedroom window didn't lock, so he would, like, put flowers and things. He'd open my window and just, like, throw them in.
Oh, my God.
And I had not responded to him. And then I found out that he had a wife and a son. For context as well, he was about 37 and I was 17.
Did you know he was 37, when he was messaging you at the start?
No, no.
And so how did it all end up, Leah?
So I told his wife. His wife left him and divorced him. And then the so I was getting really creepy messages from him. Like, he would write poems about me. He would make memes about me, like lovey things. It was really, really strange. And then when I told his wife, he turned into just straight abuse. He said it was my fault that they divorced. It was my fault that that she left him. And that went on for a couple of months as well. I blocked him. He would still make little accounts just to message me.
Oh, my God. That's
but
awful.
that was about 5 years ago now, and I think he's probably a lonely man now.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And it's definitely not your fault. It's his fault for doing the wrong thing and chasing someone 20 years younger than him, a teenager.
Yeah, I was still a minor at that point.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Leah, thank you so much for your call this morning. Let's go to Ali. Ali, I'll jump in here and say you were one of the victims of this guy out at Elizabeth. Let's not mention his names because I'm not sure if it's still before the court, but this happened to you with him?
Yeah, actually, he messaged me over the past 4 or 5 years. I never responded to any of them, but yeah, he just kept going. He found me on a dating site about 5 or 6 years ago and then searched my Facebook for me and just kept messaging me constantly.
I had a guy recently who I matched with him, and then I sort of looked at his profile and went, oh, probably not for me. I unmatched him, and he found me on Facebook and said, why'd you unmatch me for? Like, I wanted to talk to you.
So, Ali, have you heard from him recently, or has it all stopped?
No, not since the whole court case thing, thankfully.
And was it a case where you saw him on the news and went, oh, my God?
Yeah, my sister-in-law actually tagged me and she was like, oh my God, is this the guy that has been messaging you? And I was like, yes, that's him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wowee. Well, thank you so much for your call, Tennille. Oh, gosh, these calls never end, do they? Tennille, what happened?
So I used to work in a store as a cashier, and I had a customer come through and I made small talk, was really friendly as you are with customers. And then he started coming back frequently and never purchasing things. And on Valentine's Day, he bought me flowers and he'd bring me cups of coffee and stuff like that. Always just sort of checking in on me. It was really weird. And then one day I went to work, had lunch break, came back, and he was there and he said, oh, you've just been at home having some lunch, sitting out in the sun, basically.
That's like
it was very, very stalkery.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Wow.
And how's it all ended up, Tennille?
So he kind of would just keep coming in, and it was a big power dynamic, I guess, him, the customer, me having to be kind to him. So I basically just said, look, I've got a partner, and I did. My partner worked in the store as well, and I said, my boyfriend's just over there, we probably don't appreciate you coming in anymore. And I just sort of had to leave it at that without offending him too much, and that's the thing we women do. We don't want to offend Steve Creek.
I know, even though you've been mortified and offended, Tennille, you did absolutely the right thing. You didn't do anything wrong, and I would say that to all the women out there who are feeling that way. Thank you for sharing your stories this morning. I think we should give everyone an Earthclay voucher that we've spoken to.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Oh, my goodness.
I think the last thing I want to say is that if you're, and look, I get that it happens, it's men and women, but especially men, if you're out there and you're messaging someone repeatedly on social media or they've told you that they're not interested, please stop because you don't understand how it makes us feel. It's unsafe and they're obviously not interested, so just move on.
Tennille and Ali as well, thank you so much for getting involved in conversation. It's very, very brave stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
For all kinds of accommodation in Australia's hotspots and hidden gems, check out the What If app. Plan your summer getaway today. What if it's Aussie for travel? Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your most snooze news.
Yes, this is where we take the top 3 songs of the morning and condense them for you, give all the information that you need so you don't have to peruse the internet for an hour and then be late for work and then you get the sag from your boss, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jode, songs or news?
Did I say songs?
Yeah. Songs.
Okay. All right. I'm a little tired this morning.
Still celebrating her random song victory a couple of days ago.
People were rejoicing in the streets about that yesterday. Beautiful Eloise from the Hutt Street Centre said, oh my God, I was so happy you won that. But anyway, I meant news stories, Abby. Let's go to you first, please.
I was going to say, because I'm really bad at songs. So a huge accolade for Kangaroo Island. They've been named on Lonely Planet's hot list for 2024. So basically, Lonely Planet is a media organisation and they do guides and travel guides and information about any destination you can think of in the world. And they've put out a list of must-visit regions for 2024. They've named Kangaroo Island in second place, which is really good for them. They're still recovering from the bushfires in 2020, which burned 38% of the island. They were named the best beach this year as well, which is at Stokes Bay. So there's so much going on for them. I commented the other day, I've never been to Kangaroo Island, so guess where I'm going next year for a bit of a holiday at some point.
There you go.
Now's the time.
Now's the time.
What about my old stomping ground, my birthplace, Wagga Wagga? How'd that go? In
That doesn't look like it's on the list.
Wagga Wagga.
Daysey.
So strong.
Birthplace of Wayne Carey.
Yeah. And also, I don't know where you get off teeing off on me being from Hobart when you're from Wagga Wagga. Why has that only just occurred to me?
How did that slip through the cracks?
I know.
What do you mean? Wagga is a place of angels.
Is it really?
City of Angels.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's LA.
Anyway, good news for Kangaroo Island. So, if you're looking at a holiday, then stay local and head over.
Who won it?
No idea.
We don't care. We're so short-sighted. All we were looking for were the South Australian destinations. That's completely... you deserve that as well. A little question without notice.
Oh my God. It's a story about the top places. Lonely Planet's 2024 top regions. I simply asked who won it.
Yeah,
It's probably a fair question.
Newsy.
All right. Let's talk about Paris Hilton and her baby. And this is so awful.
Just going to play this in the background.
Oh, good.
The stars are blind.
Okay.
Beautiful.
This is, for anyone who wants to have a crack at this song.
God, here we go.
Who would have thought Paris was responsible for this? It's actually quite a good song. Anyway, her baby.
She had a baby via surrogate. And people have, but this makes me lose faith in humanity. People have been trolling the baby, saying how ugly it is. Like, what the hell's wrong with the world?
Yeah.
This is, some days I hate the internet, and today's one of those days. Like, in what universe do you think it's okay to get on the internet and say your baby is ugly? And she's come out and said, it's cruel, it's unacceptable, and it hurts my heart.
Yeah.
And she said, living life in the spotlight, comments are inevitable, but targeting my child or anyone else's for that matter is unacceptable. It's like, I don't get it. I think it's a beautiful little baby, but I think all babies are beautiful.
See, that's the thing. I think sometimes you can have babies which can look a little bit strange. And I'll put my hand up. Our little Lottie. she had to grow into herself. That's all I'll say. For a short second there, we thought she was Pennywise the clown.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
she grew out of it. It's all good though, Abs. It was just a little phase.
It's okay if your baby it looks a little bit funny. Like our little Summer didn't have hair for the first 3 years of her life, and we're like, oh, this is a bit unusual.
Yeah.
However, you can rip the mickey out of your own child, but when other people start to do it, I draw the line.
Yeah.
Although, show me your photo, Lottie.
Well, yeah. I think we've deleted all those photos. No, she just took a little bit of a while to grow into herself. That's fine.
That's okay.
Let's talk about some cricket just to round up the post-snooze news. Did Australia win last night? Yeah.
Oh
They
my God.
absolutely smacked the Netherlands.
I think that I went to bed when they were 1 for 100 and something, and Warner and Smith were just like teeing off.
Yes. So century to Dave Warner and a record century for Glenn Maxwell, who was taking the absolute you-know-what
Oh,
at the end of
right.
it.
What did he hit?
Sorry
to ask a question without notice,
Well,
but if you are talking about Glenn Maxwell, can I ask what he scored?
In terms of records and balls, he hit a brand new record as well. My internet's actually down, so he just stitched me up as well. Unbelievable stuff.
Glenn Maxwell had 106 off 44 balls.
44 balls.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
insane.
Kenya is the top place to visit.
Kenya.
Anyway, moving on.
There you go. Aussies on track, though. Got a really tough run, including next match, which is against New Zealand.
Okay, for tomorrow's Post News News, I'll be sure to write down all the questions I'm going to ask you
Very
both.
good.
Okay?
Good stuff. I feel a meeting coming.
The 6:15 Vending Machine Quiz.
We love this. This is how it works. We have 3 questions for you. You just have to get all 3 right, and then if you get the third one right, you get a crack at the vending machine, jam-packed, full of prizes this morning. Valo, Adelaide 500 Friday After Concert Series, tickets to Cheese Fest, and we've given a couple of these away, and they seem to be the hot ticket item, the Amazon Alexa Echo Pop Smart speaker. Very nice indeed.
Really cool.
Got a Zach from Mount Barker. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How's your morning shaping up?
Not too bad. I'm on my way to the gym. Punch out a quick sesh before work.
That's why they call you Big Zach.
I wish.
What are we doing at the gym, Zach? Are we cardio or weights?
A little bit of cardio, a quick core session, and then shoulders.
Oh,
yeah.
shoulders.
Yep.
Yeah.
You sound like a man who actually knows what to do at the gym as well.
Used to do amateur bodybuilding, so I hope I'm not what I'm
Oh,
doing.
there we go.
Oh.
You'd get on well with our sound guy, Todd, who is an absolute beast.
He's a beast as well.
Nice.
Right, okay. Don't talk yourself down. Zach will talk you up for you. Okay. Question number 1. In the nursery rhyme, what were Jack and Jill going up the hill to fetch?
A pail of water.
Yeah,
I thought it was protein. Oh,
You gotta
good
mix it with something.
start.
Question number 2. Which band sings this Nova throwback song?
That would be a Fallout Boy.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's...
Does that pump through your headphones there at the gym?
Yeah, what does
I
get
do
you up?
actually have quite a bit of their stuff on my work
good, isn't
playlist
it?
and my gym playlist.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, question 3. For your crack at the vending machine, which SA region was named in the Lonely Planet 2024 top regions?
I have no idea. I'm going to go with the hills.
No, Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zach.
Okay,
That's okay.
it's all right.
I'll let someone else have a crack.
Oh, that's nice.
Zach's a bloody legend.
Mate,
You just already know.
Yeah.
You speak to someone and within 10 seconds you're like,
yeah.
I really, really want to be friends with Zach.
Yeah, those 50-kilo overhead presses won't do themselves, Andrew Hayes. will
They never do.
Nope.
Elizabeth from Owen, can you bench press 130 kilos?
Not quite.
Okay, she's close though.
110.
You can feel that. She's pretty strong, Elizabeth. Okay, this is for your go at the 6:15 vending machine. Which SA region was named in the Lonely Planet 2024 top regions?
Was that Kangaroo Island?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Elizabeth was listening to you earlier this morning, Abby from the newsroom, quite
I'm
obviously.
very disappointed in Zach.
Yeah, oh, we'll pass that on.
I'm very disappointed.
He doesn't care, mate. He's at the gym on the
He should
treadmill
have
by
been
now.
listening from 5:30.
Yeah, so true. Okay, Elizabeth, I need a letter from you between A and C.
P.
Did you say T?
P.
P. P. Between A and C?
Yeah.
A and C?
A and C, Elizabeth. So A, B or C?
Oh, B.
There we go. We got it. B. And a number between 1 and 6.
2.
4.
4. I thought you were going to say 9.
How did we arrive at then? I don't even know.
Was that B4?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck, Elizabeth. Okay, as the vending machine has granted you some original flavoured chips. Oh no! Never mind.
Sorry, Elizabeth, but
Sorry,
good
Elizabeth.
chips nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. Should have gone P4. Never mind, Elizabeth.
Oh, well.
Thank you so much for playing.
All good, but we will play again tomorrow, 6:15.
Yeah.
Those bloody chips, you got to avoid them
Bloody chips.
at
I
all
know.
costs.
I know. Oh, well. Let's see if Elizabeth comes and collects them from the station.
Yeah,
If she
that's the
doesn't,
next
I'll eat
test.
them.
What about a little story that's emerged out of China, Jodes? And you are not going to believe this until you hear these words.
Okay.
Okay? You've got a little mutt called Sid.
That is, you very much take that back. She's a toy cavoodle, thank you, and she's beautiful.
Toy cavoodle. I'm just going to put this out there. Anything with toy in front of it
No.
isn't a real dog.
Oh, okay. Says the bloke.
Oh my God.
Says the bloke with a 15-year-old incontinent dog that you've spent a fortune on keeping it alive,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even want to be.
Yeah, well, my dog would beat up your dog. Remember you had those arguments at school? Yeah, my dad would beat up your dad. And I'd come up, I go, by the way, Dad, I accidentally put you up in a fight against Tom's dad, so you've got to meet him at 3:15.
behind the bike shed.
Yeah.
Go, Dad.
Go, Dad, go. Oh, not again. So you're very, very sure that Sid is indeed a dog, though, aren't you?
Absolutely.
A family in China had what they thought was a big 115-kilo pet Tibetan Mastiff.
Yeah.
A dog bred that can grow to be quite large, of course. They're absolutely outrageous dogs. It wasn't until the pet reached about 110 kilos and started walking around on its hind legs that they realised there was a bit of a mistake. The family then called officials who informed them that the dog was actually an endangered black bear. A big giant black bear. Tibetan Mastiffs can get between 40 and 70 kilos. This thing is 115 kilos and it looks and sounds and probably smells like a big bear.
That is a red flag, isn't it?
gosh.
If your dog's only supposed to be 40 to 70, she weighs in at 110.
Yeah, or maybe it's just a big fella.
You sure you're a dog?
It's walking around on its back legs. It's roaring at me. Not your traditional wolf, but just doing things a little bit different.
And it's in the cupboard and it's just got honey all dripping all down its mouth. And the family's like, you sure you're a dog?
You sure? How about that for a stereotype as well? That it goes for honey. Like all bears are like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, thanks, Winnie, for perpetuating that myth.
Unusual pets, and if you've got one, give us a call 13 24 10 or send us a text 0400 919 919. I grew up on the farm, so I had a pet steer, which is a cow, as a pet. So we had a feedlot where we'd get like sort of 200 or 300 cattle at a time.
Yeah.
And I became, it sounds quite silly, but classic farm story, I became quite good friends with this particular cow. To the point where I could touch it and I could ride him around towards the end.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, long story short, when he had to go to market, I had to say goodbye. I was 12 years old and Dad said, this is what has to happen.
Yeah.
Went over there. They were all in the pen before they were genuinely about to go to the slaughterhouse. And Dad had his back to the cattle. This particular beast came through and started nudging Dad, put its head underneath his arms.
Oh, no.
So then Dad, turns out he does have a soft spot, was like, oh my gosh, righto. Hired a truck, took him back to the farm, and he spent out his days on the farm.
Oh, my God.
He lived till he was about 20, I reckon, and he was about almost 2,000 kilos. He was a monster.
Yeah, right. So it was like a real-life Winnie and Tigger story for you and the cow.
A genuine, turned out he was a black bear and we used to feed him honey. Do you have any unusual pets in Tasmania? I'm so careful when I say that too. I'm so careful. Here we go, just me hovering over the dump button.
I had a pet, shut up. I had a pet fish called Boggle.
Oh, Boggle.
And it slept in my room and it had its own little fish bowl.
Yeah.
Although, did it sleep? Do fish sleep?
I don't really, not sure.
Well, they always just going round and round the fish bowl. Every lap's a new adventure for a fish because they forget everything in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, am I a fish?
Yeah. big welcome to Abby from the newsroom. He's in the studio. Always comes with outrageous statistics to support something that she's found, which is just ridiculous.
You know that I love a controversial study.
Yes.
And one has floated onto my desk, as it does.
We love
They
that.
just find their way onto your desk.
They
don't
just do. This is big. So the professions most and least likely to cheat. Boom, boom.
Ooh, bum, bum.
You dirty birds. Okay, so basically a study has come out and it says that roughly 85% of affairs are starting in the workplace, with 1 in 5 employees admitting to being unfaithful. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's an alarming statistic.
And then you've got 25% who admit to flirting with a colleague.
Wow.
Which we know is true because Hayley and I flirt all the time.
Define flirting, because I'm just going to be honest with you. Even in my single days, there is nothing that a woman could say to me that I'd pick up on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're terrible with cues.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cues.
Yeah.
Just, it's not registering in there.
Yeah.
I kiss you on the forehead.
Cara's like, oh, let's try for a baby. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me?
I kiss you on the forehead every morning, like
Yeah.
you do to me.
Yeah.
That you're not getting the vibe? Okay. Damn it.
All right.
I thought we were just a wholesome bunch.
Anyway, but these stats have come out in the industry most likely to cheat. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say that this does not surprise me at all. So the industry most likely to cheat is sales.
Ah.
Don't say that.
You've got long, boozy lunches. Well, not so much anymore, not like it was back in the day, but you've still got these long lunches. You've got client meetings. You've got long days trying to, and you've got to sweeten the deal sometimes because you're trying to get people over the line
Yeah.
and
Oh my
you
God.
want their business. So you're like, what can I do? I'll take them out for dinner, or I'll do this, or I'll send them
Whoa,
I'll
whoa,
send
whoa,
them
whoa,
something.
Whoa, hold up. What do you mean sweeten the
Like
deal?
sweeten the deal. So, we like for here, for example, at Nova. We want to get your business on board. Like, what can we do to get what's a few one more percent as we can get you on board?
I'll tell you what, in our sales department, if Paddy Carpenter wrote a bill, I'll tell you what, it'd be saucy. Good on our sales department as well for bucking the trend and being a wholesome bunch.
Well, this is
Yeah.
not good because my husband has worked in sales for the better part of 20 years.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
What
said
are you trying to
before-
say about Gregotti?
But I said
King of the
before,
dirty birds.
Greg. No, he's a unicorn, that man. Like, he is just one of the good ones.
Yeah, dirty unicorn.
This doesn't relate to him, but I am sorry. I just think this is no surprise here.
Okay, so what are the other top professions that are going to cheat on their partners?
So you've got teachers, training and education. They came in second.
I wouldn't have thought that at all. Teachers are wholesome and we love them and they
Exactly.
do amazing work and they're concentrating on nothing but raising our children.
Surprisingly as well, third was healthcare.
Oh,
But I feel like, so I've got a friend who works in the neonatal unit in Flinders. She doesn't have time to be cheating. She's running around looking after babies.
But I've seen the nurse on the front of Blink 182's out in Enema of the State back in the day, and she looks pretty wholesome.
she's keen.
She's keen. But yeah, we want to know workplace relationships. We want to talk about that today.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be cheating as well.
No.
Because what we do know, and I think what we can all subscribe to, is that love knows no rules.
Nah.
It knows nothing about timing, nor does it know anything about boundaries. And sometimes love is just love, and it turns up in the most unfamiliar and unexpected places, Joe.
What are very quickly, the professions least likely to cheat?
Least likely was science and pharmaceuticals.
Well, I mean, that's
Not through lack of intent, though.
They're too busy in the lab putting things together. Business consulting and management, law enforcement and security. I call bull on that. I know a lot of police officers who've cheated.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got friends
right.
who are police officers.
good
who've
morning to
cheated.
Sapole. But if I will say this, if Grant Stevens was looking for a bit of action on the side,
He can't get some attention, does he?
What do you call him a few weeks ago? Daddy Stevens.
Hot Daddy, Hot Daddy Stevens.
And then media and internet was number 20. So apparently none of us would ever cheat.
That's good. Like that.
That's good stuff.
Have you hooked up with a colleague? And it doesn't have to be scandalous or
No.
cheating, but there's some nice stories out there of people who have probably randomly fell in love at work and all of a sudden they're together forever. It's good.
Well, that's
Or-
what happened with Greggy and I.
Yeah, he was sales.
Unbeknownst.
But also it could have all blown up and been a big drama and someone had to leave. So I want to hear the spicy stuff too.
Yes, all right.
We love
13 24 10. Have you hooked up with a colleague?
Would you fish off the company jetty?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Ah.
13, 24, 10.
Would you jump off the jetty though as well?
Well-
not knowing exactly how deep it is, and would you try and do a flip? I'm just thinking jumping off jetties.
It can work though, and we do have some.
You're an example.
Yeah, well, I am an example. So I met my husband at work, and we got a little frisky at the old Christmas party. And
Is that where it started? Oh, Christmas parties are the worst.
But we denied it for a long time because we didn't want to, we just wanted to see, we wanted the room and the space to see where it was going because we both liked each other. We'd liked each other for a little while, but we just didn't want to, it would have been really awkward if it didn't work out.
So, just on that, so 13-2014, give us a call, and I'll catch up before Joe's, but some Velo Adelaide 500 after race concert series tickets up for grabs.
Yep.
So what, does that mean it was a little bit under wraps?
Yeah.
For how long?
Yeah. Oh, probably a good 3 or 4 months. We kept it really quiet, and then people started to cotton on.
So how'd they cotton on?
Oh, just first thing in the morning, we'd be pashing in the foyer at reception. People would be like, hang on, are these
He's
two?
my mate. What are you talking about?
What are you guys talking about?
Can't I just bash my friend, for goodness sake?
But if you had... Don't ever do that sound ever.
That sort of sound like Jodie and Greg back in the day. Because you kiss a bit more passionately
you
at the
do.
start of a relationship, let's be honest.
We haven't kissed since.
So, yeah, Jodie.
Well, I mean, we've had 4 kids, but that was the last pash we had.
Jodie and Greg at the start was like, yeah, now it's like, at best.
Doesn't that sum up courting and marriage, though?
If you're lucky.
Yeah, exactly right. We got some texts here. The places most likely for people to hook up, law firms. My mum and dad met at work. Real Suits vibes about it. That's from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
You see, law work was ranked really, really far away from the top,
Yeah.
which kind of surprised me. But then it doesn't, because when you do watch Suits, it's not quite as
no.
free-flowing and stressless environment. I imagine a top law firm would be extremely stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's drowning in work as well. Who's got time for an affair when you've got people to defend, mate? You got lives on the line.
That's exactly right.
Also, Ash said you couldn't sweeten the deal enough to make me hook up with a salesman. Oh, ouch.
Cop that, salespeople. You don't deserve that.
No, and then Sam said, my partner and I met at work 11 years ago. Nothing wrong with dating a colleague as long as you keep it professional. So true.
Yeah, that is really, really true.
Yeah.
I think that it depends as well, because the other thing as well is just how much you're seeing each other each and every day. Because that's probably the big test. Because I can confidently say that there's times where I'm just like, I just need some space away from you.
No, but it can work the other way too, because it's quite nice when you go home and you can talk to your partner about what's happened at work and all the players involved, and they understand it all too.
Yeah,
so it can be quite good.
Battle of the Bangers.
Yep, just a couple of work colleagues who are fiercely competitive because they want to bring you the best song to kickstart your Friday at 8 a.m.
And this is how it all works. Jump on the Jodie and Hazy Instagram page, vote for your favourite song that we're about to reveal in a matter of moments, and we'll play it for you 8 o'clock tomorrow morning just to crank up your Friday and get it started right.
All right, what do you got for us, Joe? Kick us off.
Well, obviously Britney Spears released her memoir, The Woman in Me, this week, and the piece of audio book that Michelle Williams, by the way, has narrated that everyone is going absolutely cocoa bananas for is her talking about walking down the street with Justin Timberlake back in the days when NSYNC was huge, and her sort of insinuating that he wanted to be a rapper type. Have a listen.
One day, Jay and I were in New York. Walking our way was a guy with a huge blinged out medallion. Jay got all excited and said so loud, "Oh yeah, faux shiz, genuine. What's up, homie?"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what's up? Just so nerdy. You can picture it, can't you?
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, goodness me. Oh yeah, what's up, genuine?
What's up? I didn't mean the voiceover artist as well. That was Michelle Williams, wasn't it?
I know, she should have had a giggle at that
Am I
point.
reading this? What's going on here?
What's happening here?
Would have done several takes, I would have thought.
Yeah. So anyway, you want to know my song? Sorry,
Yes,
I got very distracted there. So it's a Britney Spears song, obviously, one of her absolute bangers.
It's a good song. Speaking of toxic, you should go look at Britney's Instagram, some of her stories.
Goodness.
Alas, she is toxic.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Credit where it's due. Britney's got a lot of great songs.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
It's actually quite sad in a way that she's so infinitely talented, and it all has just been too much for her, this whole fame caper.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in a very, very different direction.
Are you?
Yeah, I want to take you back to 1993. Wait, what do you mean, oh no?
Oh, because you've gone for my sweet spot, the Counting Crows. I
is
love
it?
them. I love them.
Oh my gosh, how good is it?
So good.
Would you vote for this? Are you going to vote for my song?
Now I'm torn because this is literally my Year 12 song.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember that was such a lovely time of your life?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It really was.
Year 12, this song was playing and Jody's like, life can't get much better than this.
I won't paint my picture. Hate myself in blue, red, and black and gray. God, I like your song better than mine.
I think we can all universally agree that my song's the better song.
No.
What was this junk song anyway?
Oh, it's not junk.
What was that?
It's no Counting Crows. God, haven't I jumped ship?
Yeah, big
I'm turning
time.
on myself.
That's completely fine. All right, cast your vote. Counting Crows, Mr. Jones, or Toxic by Britney Spears. Jump on Jody and Hazy on Instagram.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine?
Hazy's on Miss Daisy.
Thursday. It's time for a trip down memory lane. Come on this journey with me. Come on, you know you want to. I don't want to pressure you, but I think it'd be better for you.
I'll come if I can have a piggyback.
All right. In fact, actually, the weather's a bit iffy. No piggyback. 26th of October, let's do it. 1981, guy Sebastian was born in Malaysia. Today is his 42nd birthday. What about the journey from Guy from 2003 when he won Idol to now? He's an absolute fashion icon, but when he started in the big fro, it was different, it was unusual, he got rid of it. He's just an absolute marvel.
I would argue that he's not exactly a fashion icon if you've seen some of his work on The Voice. No.
That's why he's a fashion icon.
I'm not turning my chair.
He does what he wants.
Okay.
Oh, you've got some really cool outfits, I think.
Yeah, right.
That's the good thing about fashion, though, isn't it? Polarising. It takes one to know one. 1972, the Polaroid SX70 that revolutionised the photo industry first went on sale.
Oh, there you go. That's fascinating stuff.
And then even now with the new iPhone, it's like probably 30 or 40 times better, so much more smaller, and you don't have to wait 7 to 10 days to get your photos developed.
Can you imagine working in a photo booth back in the day? With all the stuff your eyeballs have seen.
Yeah, my gosh. And those photos come back, you're like, oh boy, I shouldn't have taken a photo of that. That's the long version of deleting instantly on your iPhone.
And then clearing your recently deleted folder.
Classic.
I mean, I haven't done that.
Yes, and you just know the person at the campus has seen it. They give you the photos. You're like, why did you take a picture of that? It's not impressive, is it? Well, I thought it was. 2007, 1,730 guitarists played Bob Dylan's Knockin' on Heaven's Door at a stadium in India. This gathering beat the record for the largest guitar ensemble.
Wow.
There you go.
The Indians, they come out in mass, don't they?
Absolutely. Especially at a cricket match, we know that. They're just ridiculous over there in the IPL, the scenes.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Ridiculous stuff. Number one song on October 26, 2015, What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber. This was the moment we all went, oh, I think I really like this song, but it's Bieber.
Yeah.
And then from then on, it was like, hang on a second. Bieber's cool.
Yeah, and then I remember that he got caught with his pants down and there was a photo of his circulating and I was going around singing,
didn't see that.
What do you peen?
Oh, that's so funny. It's good. Joes, we've just seen a giant bill that's come through via the Nova Player.
Crazy big bill that's been entered, and make sure you tune in at 7:30 tomorrow because have a chat to the people involved because it's a unique situation and we're going to try and knock off that bill tomorrow.
Yeah, so you need to do your best negotiating skills to let us pay this bill.
Let me go and speak to Boss Josh and see what I can do.
Tomorrow as well at 8 o'clock, we're going to reveal the winning song for Battle of the Bangers. Here's your options. Jody chose this. Isn't Britney Spears just hot and spicy at the moment?
It's been a big week for Brit.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's been a good week or a bad week.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me, I haven't checked her Instagram for at least 10 hours.
Oh, any knife-wielding naked videos?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It's apparently a good week for her because she's claiming that her memoir is the
biggest
best
selling
and the biggest selling
Yes.
in history.
Nice.
It's an early claim because it came out yesterday.
Just a bit of forward thinking from Britney.
See how that pans out.
All right, Britney Spears, Toxic. V, let's get back to 93. I think we all agree that this is a lovely song, including an official endorsement from my direct competition, Jodie Oddie.
It's a hard one. I've got a real emotional attachment, a bit of nostalgia about Counting Crows and my youth, and so this is a tough one.
So what are you going to do here?
Well, I still want to win. That's the thing. I'm torn between my competitiveness and my want and need to reminisce on my year 12.
But it feels like you genuinely would rather this song to play.
I don't put words in my mouth.
But you'd rather win.
But I don't know. I'm torn. It's great Natalie Imbruglia.
Natalie Imbruglia.
It's a rough one. Oh, dear.
All right, get voting at Jodie and Hazy on Instagram. Miss Jones v Toxic, and we'll catch you bright and early tomorrow morning for a Friday.
Have a good day.